Lolly ho internet, this is the Orpig, Damian Orso, and the reason I'm laughing is because I just recorded this video for the last like 20 minutes and I never hit record. So this is the second time I'm gonna say all this, and I hope I say it as good as I did the first time. I think I nailed it the first time, and of course you'll never know, but trust me, I nailed it. Even though this one might stink, it's because the first time I did this, it was 20 times better. Okay, so how did I lose all my weight? How did I go from 500 pounds, over 500 pounds to 220 pounds in under a year's time? The trick is intermittent fasting. All right, intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is where you don't eat for a 16-hour window, and then you do eat for an 8-hour window. For this 8-hour window, you eat your food. Now, that doesn't mean you just sit there for 8 straight hours and eat and eat and eat. There's still some limits you have to put on yourself, but anything is pretty much fair game as long as you wait for this 8-hour window. The reason that I decided to do intermittent fasting was because my wife let it be known through a little slip up or just making conversation that Hugh Jackman was some hot, right? Wolverine, which was pretty cool because I get to watch the X-Men movies and my wife actually comes with me and we share that, and then lo and behold, come to find out it's because Wolverine looks so hot without his shirt on. Okay, so here I am, 500 plus pound fat guy. My wife is still thin and looking good, and she's with the giant fat guy. Almost like I felt like I was living the life of King of Queens, right? Where he's got the hot wife and I'm the big fat guy. Not that I don't love Kevin James. I think he's hilarious. I love you, bro. So I felt like I was living that life and I needed to get out of it. My wife tells me she wants to go back to the gym. I've tried different diets. I say, hey, my wife is attracted to Hugh Jackman. Let me see what he did. So I look up the Wolverine diet, which was intermittent fasting. That's how this guy put on all this solid weight and looked freaking absolutely jacked and ripped for the X-Men movies. So I look up intermittent fasting and I see what it's all about. So you've got this 8-hour window that you can eat, 16 hours that you starve yourself, which goes against everything I was raised to believe, and probably you too, right? Where you have to eat breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It gets you focused. It fires up your metabolism. People who eat breakfast lose more weight than people who skip breakfast. All this stuff that's been programmed into our minds for years and years. And now science comes out and says, no, you don't have to eat breakfast. You can skip it. In fact, it might even be better for you. Craziness, right? Here's the thing. The way it was explained best to me was, with intermittent fasting, it's like you preheat a skillet. So let's say you take a skillet out and you throw it on your stove, you turn your stove on, and you throw some butter in there. What happens? Well, the butter just sits there. It looks exactly like it did when it sat on your knife before you scraped it into the skillet. And then after like 2, 3, maybe as much as 5 minutes, you start to see it slowly melt, and then it starts to sizzle and bubble and everything because the heat is transferring to that pan. When you don't eat breakfast though, that is like preheating the skillet. So now you take the skillet, you turn the stove on, you put the skillet on there, and you leave it. And you let it heat up. You let that metal absorb that heat for 2, 3, 5 minutes, however long, and then you take that butter and you drop it in the pan. What happens? The butter immediately starts to melt. It immediately begins to sizzle. There's the immediate transfer of heat. That's what happens when you do intermittent fasting. So you don't eat in the morning, your stomach is starting to preheat. It's starting to get ready. Okay, you actually program your body to more efficiently burn calories because your body knows, hey, I'm going to get to eat in this window. This amount of time, I'm going to get food, and I need to efficiently burn it. Okay, I need to take every calorie I can out of there and use every little bit of it. The other thing with intermittent fasting, and I don't understand all this and I don't know why it works, but I can just tell you it works from personal experience, right? Over 300 pounds lost in less than a year. It makes your body use your fat reserves. It forces your body, however it works, for whatever reason, to go after the fat. Nothing else, no other diet does this. When you do other diets, when your body's constantly getting food, it's going to burn the food that it gets first. And then only as a last resort is it going to go to your fat. So I don't know why, but with intermittent fasting, it does burn through the food you eat. Don't get me wrong. It burns through the food you eat. But it's like it knows it's not getting any more food. And so then it attacks your fat reserves. I think. I don't know. I don't know the science behind it. I can just tell you it works. So you've got to starve yourself. You've got to be hungry. I think the important thing is that you don't eat an amount of time before you go to sleep, and then that starvation in the morning to, like I said, kickstart, you preheat your skillet, your stomach, to be ready for some food so that when it hits, it immediately digests it. Now, the recommended times that I found for intermittent fasting was between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. This was their 8-hour window, which is fine. But like I said before, I'm a dad. I've got 2 kids. I've got a job, 9 to 5 job that I work and everything. I can't just start eating at 10 o'clock. I have to wait till 11. On the same token, I like to weightlift. I like to go to the gym. I go to the gym after work. By the time I get off of work and I go to the gym and come back home, it's usually right around 7 o'clock. It's anywhere, depending on how long my workout is, it's anywhere between 6:30 and 7:30. So I am past that window of 6 o'clock. So my time during the weekday is between 11 and 7. Now, sometimes I get home after 7 and I'm going to eat. Okay, I went to the gym, I worked out, I'm going to eat, which is usually just a protein shake for me. But that's because I want that extra protein in the day to help me build muscles and be big like my idol, Bradley Martin, all right? But that's just me. Some people have to eat, and that's fine. Eat your food. But the thing is it's a strict guideline, but not like down to the minute. Like, oh my goodness, it's 7:01, that's it, I can't eat. Look, there's some leeway with it, all right? So that's intermittent fasting. You get that 8-hour window. Now, in the beginning, it is hard. It is very hard. I am eating all day long when I'm over 500 pounds. I'm eating really fattening foods, and when I feel even the slightest bit of hunger, I go and eat. And so that's the way my body had been trained. So to help me with that, I did do some fat burning pills. I took Cellucor Super HD, and then I took some Hyper Shred, I believe it was called. And you got to do those in cycles. So I did a cycle of Cellucor, which I think you do it for like a month to a month and a half. And I did that, and then you take a month off, and then I did the Hyper Shred. And what that did was, the biggest thing it did was it reduced my appetite. So I was able to hold out longer before I ate. But that stuff only works for like 3 to 4 days. So the first 3 or 4 days, I didn't want to eat. I was fine. I had all kind of energy. I had all this pent up nervous energy. And when I did get home, I ate like a little bit, and I was like, oof, push the plate away. I'm full. I don't want to eat. I'm not hungry whatsoever. It'll also keep you up at night. Your first 2 nights that you're on these pills, you'll probably only get anywhere from 3 to 4 hours of sleep, but you'll be fine. You'll be wide awake. You won't be tired at work. You'll be focused. But after that, you're going to crash. You're going to crash, and not only are you going to crash, but your appetite's going to come back with a vengeance. And it doesn't care what pills you are taking, you are going to want to eat and eat and eat. You're going to binge, essentially, because your body has been deprived of all these nutrients, and it doesn't care what pills you're putting into it, it's going to want to eat. So you got to be ready for that. You've got to have a plan in motion. And for me, that's where intermittent fasting worked. I had tried diet pills before, and they suppressed my appetite, but like I said, after like 3 or 4 days, I really didn't care. My body didn't care what pills I was putting in it. It wanted food. It needed food, and I was going to eat that food. So it didn't matter that I was eating these pills. But speed up your metabolism, I think they did a study where the most it speeds up your metabolism is to where you burn an extra 100 calories a day. An extra 100 calories. That's nothing. That's 2 cookies. Okay? That's 100 calories. So it really doesn't speed up your metabolism that much. You have to use it as a tool, okay? It's a crutch for you to use, and if you don't have it, you can hop along. I lost the same amount of weight each day, whether I was on those pills or off them. But they did help me in the beginning to suppress my appetite, but that's because I had a plan in motion. I knew I wanted to do this intermittent fasting, and I knew, hey, that's what helped me, a time schedule. I knew, hey, 11 o'clock, I get to eat. And yes, I watched the clock. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it, right? And after I ate, I told myself I couldn't have a snack or anything else for at least 2 hours. Now, in the beginning, there was no snacks, all right? I was very extreme in losing my weight. I knew I needed to drop my weight as fast as possible because I knew how to maintain it. I just wanted to get rid of this weight as fast as possible. So I only ate 2 times a day. At 11:30, when it was my lunch break, I would come home and I would eat. And I would cut my portions down, okay? I'm going to get to that in a second. I would eat then. I know in the beginning, no, I went straight to the gym. After work, I went straight to the gym. I worked out, and then after I worked out, then I went home and I ate dinner. In the beginning, I ate whatever my wife cooked. And again, I cut my portions in half though, and I would only eat a little bit. Even better, I would try to get her to cook something with without any carbs or very few carbs in the evening, or if she did cook carbs, I would eat, if she made like chicken and rice. And by the way, I hate brown rice. I don't eat brown rice, okay? Jasmine rice tastes 10 times better, and it's a little bit better for you than white rice. It's not as good as brown rice, but at least it tastes better because it doesn't taste like a soggy paper bag, because that's what brown rice tastes like, okay? To me, whatever. You like it, eat up, buddy. But the point is, I would limit my carb intake at night. That's the only time. All these, the Atkins diet, can't stand that. No, that's for people, if you want to sit on your butt and not do anything, by all means do the Atkins diet, okay? The Atkins diet is like not putting gas in your car. So if you want your car to just sit in the driveway and not go anywhere, by all means do the stupid Atkins diet. I'm sorry, that's just the way I feel. All right, you want to do the Atkins diet, that's fine. But I tell you what, you do your research, because there are more people who blow back up and regain the weight that they had before doing that Atkins diet than there are any other diets out there. Okay, so be careful with that. Anyway, if you want to move though, you want to get around, have your carbs, but try to limit it at night. That's what I'm saying. Try to limit your carbs at night. Yes, if you like me and you bodybuild and you work out, you do need some carbs after you work out. They are essential to rebuild your muscles, but you don't need a crap ton, especially if you're going to be going to bed soon, all right? Which again, I would eat around 7 o'clock. I would go to bed around 9 or 10. I'm old, guys, all right? I'm 39 years old. I go to bed early. I wake up early, but I go to bed early. So I'm going to bed at 9 o'clock. I do get up at 4 a.m. though, all right? Let that be a lesson to you little whippersnappers. You want to say, oh my goodness, you're going to bed at 9 o'clock. Yeah, but I'm up at 4 a.m., all right? Marine Corps motto, we do more before 6 a.m. than more people do all day long, all right? Hoorah. Anyway, so I did take some pills in the beginning, and yes, it is really hard in the beginning to adjust your body to this. I was constantly telling people how hungry I was, and I just wanted to eat, and I couldn't wait till it was time for me to eat. And when you do eat, oh my goodness, food tastes so good. My wife would make hamburger helper. I could taste every ingredient that was in that hamburger helper. I mean, I'm reminded of Eddie Murphy Delirious, right? Where he says, you give a bum a cracker and they'll swear that that's the best cracker they ever had. Oh man, that was a good cracker. What was that, a saltine? Oh man, now that was the best cracker I ever had. Yeah, that was me on intermittent fasting in the beginning. Oh my goodness, that was hamburger helper. Oh, what you did? You put some basil leaves in there or something? You put some parsley? Oh man, that was the best thing. You must have put some Tony Chachere's in there, right? Oh man, so good. So food tastes amazing when you're doing this because you are starving. But you have to control yourself, which brings me to my next point. Not only did I do intermittent fasting, which is great because it trains your body to efficiently burn calories hardcore, but it also, I reduced my caloric intake. If you go back to the very beginning, for science, before all this stuff, the bottom line to weight loss was you need to eat less calories than you burn. All right. And yes, our body naturally burns so many calories. All right. A 200-pound man has to eat like 2,000 calories a day to maintain that body weight, which means if you eat less than 2,000 calories, you're going to lose weight. All right. So again, at over 500 pounds, I would have to eat between 4,500 and 5,000 calories a day to maintain that weight. If I ate more calories than that, I would gain weight. If I ate less calories than that, I could lose weight. It was very simple to lose weight in the beginning. So I did portion control. All right. Usually I filled up my plate with food. All right, if my wife made like the hamburger helper, the skillet, the kids would eat, my wife would eat, I would eat, and then whatever was left over, I would finish. There was no leftovers. All right. Now I made sure that I only filled up the middle of the plate. So you have, a normal plate and you got that decorative edge. You don't touch the decorative edge with food. The food only goes in the middle like a fancy restaurant, okay? Remember, your stomach is only as big as a closed fist. Now the food does get compacted and it goes in there, but this is how big your stomach actually is. Okay, and that's all you have to consume. People get the lap band surgery to decrease the size of their stomach so that they feel full earlier. And I just said, why can't I do that without the surgery? If these people are just basically eating less because their stomach is smaller, why can't I just do that on my own? Not to mention, I know we all have starved ourselves before, and then when you finally eat, you can't wait to eat. You eat like a little bit of food, way less than what you thought you were going to eat, and you're full, and your stomach basically shrank. I don't know how true that is, but it definitely, I don't know about the science of your stomach actually shrinking, but I know that your appetite-wise, that's true. Okay? And if it's not true, then you're just weird. But even for a big old fat guy, if I didn't eat for a long time and then I finally did eat, even though I could have swore I could eat like a crap ton of food, I couldn't. I eat a little bit and I was like, oh, I am full. So your stomach shrinks. So allow it to shrink. Don't stretch it back out, okay? Let your stomach shrink. Let it get small. Tell yourself that you don't need all that food. Make sure you drink water, all right? One, you need water, okay? Water is essential. If you're burning calories like you're doing and you're taking in less, guess how your body expels all those calories? More than likely through your urine, okay? Through peeing. That's how you're going to get rid of the calories that you're burning. Yeah, you can go to the gym and you can sweat them out because sweat is nothing but fat crying. But the other way is if you're not doing that, guess what? Your body's shedding it by peeing. And if you're not drinking enough water, then you've got these calories just ready, or fat, ready to be expelled from your body, but you're not drinking enough water, you're not going to expel it, okay? That helps you feel full. Now, I know some diets, they say like drink a full glass of water before you eat to help you feel full. Look, man, when I'm ready to eat, especially with intermittent fasting, when I'm ready to eat, I am ready to eat. All right? So I do drink at least one glass with my meal, a glass and a half to 2 glasses, however much. I do make sure I drink that glass while I'm eating, or if I'll finish my food first, and then I'll finish the water. And then you got to give yourself like 30 minutes. You still might feel hungry, okay? I know I do, but you got to give yourself time. You got to give the food time to digest. You can and try eating slower too, which again is hard when you're starving yourself, especially in the beginning. You just want to gobble that food down and eat it all. But if you can slow down and eat slow, you're gonna eventually feel that full feeling. Okay, so portion control, cut it down. The other thing, like I said earlier, so I'm married, got a lovely wife, I've got 2 kids. I don't want to impose my lifestyle on them. If my wife cooks, she doesn't have to cook a meal for me or me and her if she's trying to eat healthy as well, and then something for the kids. Whatever she cooks, I just take a smaller amount of it. At the end of the day, food cooked at home is still better for you than anything that's cooked out in town. I mean, unless you're like deep frying it or something like that, like the Twinkies and broccoli and stuff. But at the end of the day, the stuff you cook at home is going to be better for you than stuff out in a restaurant. If you do go out to eat, and look, I went out to eat. I still went to fast food places while I was doing this two times a week, maybe once, 2 times a week, whatever, McDonald's, Wendy's, whatever it was. And I would order a regular meal. I would cut it in half. So if I go to McDonald's and I get me a quarter pounder meal, I cut that quarter pounder in half. I eat half of the fries, and I don't like soda, so that was an easy one. I drank water. So I drink water, and I eat half of the meal. Not only did I still lose weight, but it saves you a ton of money, which is great for a cheapskate like me. Okay, I would buy 1 meal, and that was 2 meals. I usually didn't eat it for dinner because I didn't want all those carbs. Enriched bun, hot dog buns, hamburger buns. They have a enriched bun, enriched flour, which is supposed to be like really bad for you. That's what I was taught. So I didn't want to eat that for dinner. Again, those carbs late at night like that. Enriched flour turns into sugar easier than regular bread, which of course even better than bread would be whole wheat bread, but of course you're not getting that from McDonald's. So I would save that for lunch the next day. So I would eat half of a meal, whatever it was, no matter where we went. I would eat half of my meal, and I would save the other half for later. And that was going anywhere. I mean, we go to a Mexican restaurant or wherever we go, cut my meal in half, whatever they served me, and I would have a meal the other day. It saved us a ton of money. It saved us a ton of money in food bills. It saved us stretched out so much. I mean, our refrigerator now is constantly full of leftovers because I don't eat as much, and I force myself not to eat as much, and I'm cutting my caloric intake without sacrificing good food, okay? Now, that brings me to the next point. Soda. I was able to wean myself off of soda probably about 13, 15 years ago, somewhere around there, which now if I drink soda, it just burns my throat. I might still have a soda every now and then. I get a wild tick up my butt probably twice a year where I want to drink a soda, and that's fine. But here's my thing, guys. If you're going to drink soda, one, limits it. You need water. Soda is a diuretic, which means it flushes water out of your body. You need water. Water makes up the majority of your body. You need water to flush your fat. You need water to build muscle. But drink regular soda. All right? Here's the thing. Diet soda is made up of all kind of artificial preservatives. Now, your body doesn't know what to do with artificial preservatives. They're not of this earth. They are man-created. It is a rare item, all right? And what happens when you get a rare item? I always think back to my buddy Sean Picard, who told me back when he was playing Ultima Online, all right? Quick story. He goes down this dungeon. He says it's dark. He has no idea where he's going, and he comes across dirt. That's it, just dirt. Nowhere else can you pick up dirt. But here in the bottom of this cave where he has no idea how he got here, he finds dirt. So he's like, all right. So he tries to pick it up. It says this item is too heavy. So he's like, okay. So he unloads some gear, throws some armor down, tries to pick it up. He still can't pick it up. This item's too heavy. Fast forward, he ends up emptying all his gear out, right? And he's imitating it. He's got this 300 kilograms of earth that he's able to carry. It takes him to dump all of his inventory just to carry this earth. But he has no idea what it is, but he knows he just wants it because nowhere else in the game can you pick up dirt. So he carries this all the way back to his house, throws it into the treasure chest, and he has no idea what he's going to do with it. He ends up selling it to a guy for like real world currency who puts it in a museum. Like, oh, look, this is dirt, you know, this is like a glitch in the system and nobody else has this. The fact is, it's a rare item. He gave up all kind of stuff, probably good items, just to get this thing that he had no idea what it was. That's what your body does with artificial preservatives. It has no idea what this stuff is, but it's a rare item. It's gold, okay? It's something that your body feels like it needs to hang on to, so it converts it to fat. I don't know how they get away with saying this stuff is 0 calories, because it's not. Okay, it is not 0 calories. There's nothing you're putting in your body like that has a sweet taste that is just 0 calories and you can drink it like water. That is untrue. All right, that turns to fat. But when you drink regular soda is made with sugar from the earth. And look, sugar gets a really bad rap. Okay. Your body knows what to do with sugar. It's going to burn it like that. It needs it to fuel the jet. FTJ, fuel the jet. I do a lot of movie quotes. You know what movie that was? Comment below. Okay, so fuel the jet. You need sugar to fuel the jet, all right? To move around. You even need sugar to help patch up your muscles when you're done working out, okay? You need sugar to give you energy before you go to the gym, before you work out, whatever it is. That fuels you, and your body knows how to efficiently use it because it's a natural ingredient. So drink your regular soda. Don't drink it all the time, okay? Limit yourself as best as you can. I know my wife probably drinks like a soda once a week. I think she's down to like once a month now. She might drink a soda. Just try to wean yourself down, because at the end of the day, that stuff has no redeeming value. You can say, well, it has the sugar, but you can get your sugar in so many other places. Like me, I prefer candy. I love chocolate, okay? There's a reason I was a 500-pound fat dude. Besides the wife, that my wife is an awesome cook. She makes the best cheesecake in America, and I can eat a whole thing, right? One slice of my wife's cheesecake is a quarter. Yeah, that's one piece. That's one small piece. Is a quarter of the pie, all right? So I can eat some chocolate. I can eat some sugar, but I want my sugar in chocolate and ice cream and cookies and whipped cream. Those are the good things that I love. Soda, you can have it. You know, like The Rock. I saw a special on him where he doesn't like sugar. He doesn't like, or not sugar. I'm sorry. He doesn't like chocolate. I don't like chocolate. And if I really get a hankering for some kind of candy, I eat Twizzlers. Twizzlers is the fat body candy that people eat like me, who are on diets and have a craving for some kind of candy, and we're like, well, I guess I'll just eat some nasty Twizzler licorice. Like, it is disgusting. It's not any good, and we eat it as a sacrifice to try to better ourselves. Excuse me, rather than eating the good stuff, the Twix and the Snickers and stuff. And here's this guy who already is freakishly large and awesome. Look, he's a role model, okay? You know, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson is freaking awesome. But I see why he's so big. I see why he carries like 2% body fat all the time. It's because he doesn't know what's good. He doesn't eat what's good. Hey, you come down to Louisiana, buddy, and I'll show you some good food. We'll put some fat on your bones, all right? But, yeah, So me, personally, you know, you guys, you want your Coke, you want your Sprite, your Mountain Dew, whatever it is, you can have that. Me, when I cheat, when I got a craving for some sugar or something, I'm going to eat a candy bar. I'm going to eat some chocolate, all right? That's me. That's what I want. But soda is just so bad for you. But if you're going to drink it, drink regular soda. Don't drink that diet stuff. Yeah, it's just a scam, okay? do not drink diet. My workout routine. So I was fortunate enough that I was able to, in my last 2 years in the Marine Corps, I was on the Marine Corps pistol team up in Quantico, Virginia, and I was fortunate enough to become a workout partner with Robert Scott Park. Okay, and Scott Park, good friend of mine now. We worked out for 2 years on the Marine Corps, going on the road, at home, and he taught me so much. He's actually a professional bodybuilder now. He's actually a trainer down in South Carolina where he lives, and shout out to him. That dude is awesome. He knows what he's talking about. The dude is freaking ripped. He's jacked. He won his competition. The guy knows what he's talking about. He taught me my workout routine. My workout routine is 4 days on and 1 day off. Now I know there's hardcore people out there who say you don't need a rest day, and that's fine. Go for it. Me, I work out with my wife. I asked her if we could just not have a rest day and just constantly hit this thing over and over. She said she needed a rest day for her sanity. Okay, no problem. So 4 days on, 1 day off. Work your opposite muscles. You get bigger benefits by working contradictory muscles. So first day is chest and back. They push and pull. All right, you push for chest, you pull for back, and they contradict one another. It's supposed to promote growth within them. Next day is bis and tris. Again, the same concept. One push, one pull. All right, I did that backwards. All right, one pull, one push. So those are opposites. They contradict each other, and they work to grow. My next day I do shoulders, and that's it. Nice, easy day after 2 hard days. You know, chest and back, shoulders, bis and tris, those are long days. Those are, anywhere from an hour and a half to two hour workouts. Then shoulders, so a nice easy day. It usually just takes me about an hour to do shoulders. And then on my last day I do legs and abs. Now you can do abs every day. They say that there's no reason, again, for you to take a rest period from abs, but me personally, I don't like to work my abs every day. I read a good article back in the day that said we all have good abs. The only thing keeping your abs from showing off your six-pack is fat. It all comes down to diet, 90%, okay? And actually, if you work out nothing but your abs, people think, oh, I got to work out my abs to lose weight. You're actually going to appear fatter because you're going to, just like any muscle, you're going to grow it and expand it, and that's going to increase your waistline, all right? Or increase your gut, whichever one you're working. But you can't work one specific body part and think you're going to drop weight in that area. All right. The only thing preventing you from having six-pack abs is fat. It's 90% diet. That's what it comes down to. Sorry. You work your abs every day. You work your abs walking. You work your abs talking. They already do work. You can do a little bit of tweaking, which is why I only do it 1 day a week. But hey, if you want to knock yourself out and do it every day, you can. You can work abs every single day, and you go for it. But me, I do legs and abs. You could easily do legs and shoulders 1 day, have a rest day, do 3 days on, 1 day off, all right, and do abs every day. Again, I work out for like an hour and a half. I'm done after that. Not to mention, like I said, usually it's already like 6:30, 7 o'clock by the time I finish my routine. By the time I come home, shower and everything, it's it's around 8:30. It's 9:12 right now. I'm ready for bed. I'm past my bedtime, guys, recording this. I don't have time to do abs every day. So not that important, at least to me. If you're going to do cardio, I recommend doing cardio in the morning. All right, wake up early. Teach yourself to wake up early. So what I did was when I finally got down to about 380, 350, I felt good enough that I could do cardio. So I spent the next week just waking up at 4 a.m., just training myself to wake up at 4 a.m. I'd get up, I'd stroll out of bed, I'd come into the living room and I'd watch TV or I'd play some video games or something, but I would stay awake from that time. I would teach myself to get up that early. And then after a week, then I would go run. Or in the beginning, it was run and walk, right? I started out running to 1 light pole, walk 2 light poles, run 1 light pole, walk 2 light poles, and now I run 5 miles. So you got to build yourself up, but building yourself up includes waking up that early. If you can't do that, all right, and you want to bodybuild, do cardio last. It's not about going to the gym and doing cardio first and getting your heart rate up. No. You do cardio last. Cardio actually eats muscle, okay? And it's still going to eat your muscle up. But you do cardio after your workout if you have to do it, all right? If you just do cardio, you can do it whenever, all right? But if you're going to do cardio, I would highly recommend doing cardio first thing in the morning because it does jumpstart your metabolism. It gets it going, and it's only going to increase the benefits of intermittent fasting. But maybe cardio is not for you. You've got to find what works for you, okay? And that's something I forgot to mention. Okay, I did it the last time I recorded. Again, guys, I recorded all of this before and none of it took. Another trick to help you out when you are doing intermittent fasting is to find stuff to do. All right. I find that when I go for a run, I don't want to eat. All right. When I go to the gym and I come back, I am hungry and I feel forced to eat because I need to consume those proteins. But at the same time, I'm not starving. Okay. When I maybe it's just me, but when I do activities, I don't want to eat. I don't want to undo the good that I just did. So when you get hungry and you feel like you have to eat, you should go for a walk, go for a run. Don't sit and watch TV, okay? If you're like me and you sit and watch TV, you're going to want to eat. I want to eat when I watch TV, especially if I'm watching like Hell's Kitchen or Bar Rescue or any of these other awesome, diners, divers, and diners, drive-ins, and dives. That's it. Drivers, diners, dives, whatever. Yeah, that Guy Fieri show. You watch these shows and they just show this awesome food and you're already hungry. And especially if you're at home and food is right around the corner in the kitchen like it is for me, I'm going in there and I'm raiding that pantry and I'm eating. So don't do that. Don't sit. And if you do sit and watch TV and you get hungry and you feel like you're about to break down and eat, you need to, man, thankfully I got a wife who gives me a honey to-do list, because go do some chores, okay? Just get up, quit watching TV, and get yourself busy. Get your mind off of the food. Go cut your grass. Even if you just cut your grass, go cut your grass again. Again, when I cut my grass and I come in from outside sweaty, and especially in the summertime when it's hot and everything, I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat for like the next 2 or 3 hours. It just drives my appetite away. I don't know if it's the sweating or out in the sun, but it drives my appetite away, okay? Go wash your car. Go, like I said, do chores around the house that you've been putting off. Go do laundry. Go clean a room. Sweep the house. Whatever it is, you're going to better your house, better your location. You're definitely going to make your wife happy or your girlfriend happy if you have one of those. Let me tell you. You think working out and having a good body is sexy? No. A guy who cleans the house will turn your wife on more than anything else, all right? So get up, go clean, go do something. Find something. If you don't want to clean because you're too manly or whatever, go outside, all right? Install some gutters or something to your house. Beautify it. Put up a fence. But the fact is, get your mind off of it and find something to do. If you have a hobby like the cardio or the running, go do that. And if not, look for a chore around the house. But that stuff helps, okay? It helps get my mind off of the food. Once your weight goal is achieved, you will have to reevaluate how you do things, all right? You have to... Remember this, you have to eat for the body you want, not for the body you have, all right? So when I was over 500 pounds, I would have to eat between 4,500 and 5,000 calories to maintain that weight. That's not what I want it to be. I want it to be 200. So I would eat around 2,000 calories. Actually, I would probably eat around 1,500 calories, okay? Because, like I said, I was doing an accelerated weight loss. I was just trying to lose the weight as fast as I could because I knew what I had to do to maintain it. It's what I did in the Marine Corps for the last 6 years. So I knew how to maintain my weight, but I needed to get back down there to where I could have my activity level increased. Once I got my activity level increased like it is right now, I get to eat. I get to eat all the time, and I love it because I just stay active. And as long as I stay active, I'm good. But when I got out the Marine Corps, my activity level went way down, and that's my fault, okay? I changed jobs. I wasn't ready for that adjustment. I wasn't ready for that time schedule, and there's nothing on any of them. McDonald's didn't make me fat. Nobody made me fat. The job didn't make me fat. It was on me. It's all on me for doing that. But the fact is, I knew that once I got my weight under control and I could get my activity level back up, I knew that I could eat pretty much whatever I want, and I do. I eat whatever I want. I still do the reduced calories. I still only eat a little bit. I actually when we go out to eat, okay, I'll be honest, I eat like all my food now. I do. But that's because I am running in the morning every other day and I'm working out every evening, okay? I told you I do 4 days on, 1 day off. Guess what? On my off day, I run 5 miles and I hit abs, okay? So I do more on my off day than most people do on their on day. But that's so I can eat. I do that because I like to eat. I don't want to starve myself. I got two choices. I could be lazy and not do anything and then cut down my calories so that I don't gain any weight, or I can keep up my activity level and I can eat because I already burned all these calories, and that means it's time to eat some food, okay? So when you get down to your goal, when you get down to your goal that you want to be at, remember you might have to adjust your calories. I know, so I was telling you I was eating only twice a day. I was eating lunch and then I was eating dinner after the gym. When I started getting closer to my weight of how I want it to be, I actually started eating more. So now I eat lunch and then I eat a yogurt for a snack. And then before I go to the gym, I will eat some either some nuts, or I'll drink an energy drink, or I'll take something. But you know, there's some extra calories right there before I go to the gym, or a protein bar or whatever. And then after the gym, I drink a protein shake. Sometimes I eat dinner. You know, 2 nights ago, my wife had a rotisserie chicken and some snap peas. Hey, minimal carbs, right? The only carbs is from the vegetables, from the snap peas, and that's minimal. Rotisserie chicken, that's straight up protein. So, you know, I ate that. So I don't always do my shake, but majority of times I do. I did my shake tonight, you know, scoop of peanut butter, protein from that, protein from the shake mix, and I'm ready to rock and roll. So I'm able to eat more, okay? And you might see a little bit of a weight increase because you're starting to consume more. But trust me, it's going to go back down. You can't freak out. You can't start to increase the amount of calories that you eat once you get close to your goal weight. You can actually increase the amount that you eat. And you're going to gain a little bit of weight. And that's okay. You don't need to freak out. You don't need to start fasting. You don't, oh my gosh, that's it. I need to lose even more weight. No. Your body's just adjusting. It's adjusting to the increase in the calories. And it's holding on to them. It's saying, oh, I need to hold on to these. I'm getting extra calories. And then once you keep consuming that, your body's going to say, oh, okay, this is the new, I'm getting these calories, I'm going to flush them out. I don't need, you know, any reserves I had or anything like that, I'm going to get rid of them because I'm constantly getting food in. So you've got to find that right balance. And a lot of times that means increasing the amount that you eat. But in the beginning, when your body has all these fat reserves like I did, it doesn't matter the fact that I was eating so little calories because my body was like, that's all right. I got plenty of fat over here. You know, I've got a whole cupboard full of food. And I'm going to use that. And if not enough food comes in from the grocery store, that's okay because we're going to go to the cupboard. Well, once that cupboard starts to get bare, your body says, okay, I'm going to start eating less, which means I'm going to start burning less fat. So you got to adjust it for that. But it's okay. It's okay to gain a little bit of weight and then you're going to come back down. All right, and you're probably going to go below where you were before. So just remember that when you get close to your goal weight and you're able to maintain, your weight's going to fluctuate. You can actually increase your calorie intake and you will actually still lose weight. So you got to be wary of that. But hey, that's a while away, right? For now, stay focused. Remember, eat for the body you want, not for the body you have. Leave me any comments down below of any videos you want to see. If I didn't cover anything great enough detail or you got some questions, let me know. I'll either answer it straight out in the comments or, hey, maybe I'll make another video and let you know what's going on, okay? But remember, form over weight. More important to have correct form all the way down, all the way up. Get that good muscle squeeze, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, Internet.